Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. Not on the beer train again, huh, Tim?
You drinking Dr. Robot over there?
Oh, me? This is Yingling Light.
No.
Ew,
Yeah.
that is really bad beer.
Ugh.
No, it's the same light beer with actual flavor.
Is that light or flight?
I'm not into the Yingling Light. I think it's weird.
I don't know. It's the same like calories and alcohol content as your Miller Lights and your Bud Lights, but it actually has flavor to it. So it's like a little step above.
I guess when your bar is that low.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Come on over. I'll give you some.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, well, you're not getting your PBR, man. Your new source is failing you, Ryan, isn't it?
You know, I tried stopping by the new Publix to pick up some PBR today, and they definitely don't have any. There's a place for
Summerhill
them.
Publix.
So I'm wondering if they just, they're $19.99 for a 30-pack, so it's a pretty good deal.
They're already rotating it out. That's all they're doing.
But I was like, maybe they had a couple of 30-packs and they just sold out because it was such a good deal.
It's such a popular item there. Yeah. So the
20 bucks for a 30-pack is pretty solid.
What's it like at the whole place?
Cool? You know, new grocery stores are all. Do you remember Crowbar when it was new?
Oh yeah.
Because it was like beautiful, wonderful, like fully stocked. Everyone was friendly. There's all these out of town people like working the.
You're talking about Murder Kroger, the new Murder Kroger.
No. Crowbar's the Grant Park Kroger, the one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Glenwood.
Yeah.
Right off 20.
It was beautiful for a while, and then it just went downhill really fast. So we'll give it a second while the regional managers are all like hovering around. We'll give them a second to like clear out and figure out how it's going to be.
That Chick-fil-A killed the Grant Park Kroger, man. Like that traffic around there. Yeah, it's impossible. It's horrible. But no, yeah, there was a big complaint on Panther Talk about Summerhill Kroger. There's not a single bit of Georgia State merch anywhere in the whole place. You'd figure
is there any merch?
I don't know, but they sell Kennesaw State stuff up in
from time to time they do. They'll
up there
sell
and
high school and college.
If they've got UGA stuff, then I'm pissed. If they don't have UGA stuff, then I don't care.
So I feel like that's something that athletics should have got in front of ahead of time and be like, hey, we need to have like a Georgia State section here selling, like the bookstore getting. I don't know how that whole process works. If they just like get the merch in there and everything, but it seems like that's something that should have been a very, very easy thing to do. But then again, this is the same athletics department that doesn't want to put banners up in bars or restaurants around town either. So
we don't sell really much Under Armour gear, so you're asking a lot to get stuff into a Publix.
It's too damn expensive, man. Why am I going to pay this much money for a team that only has the three of us and our listeners as fans?
That's why we were failing.
Yeah.
No, give them time. Give them until the fall. The Publix up by me, I think they have North Springs High School. Is that around here? I don't know.
North Springs High School, swag.
Yeah, and not a big section. It's just like a little rack that's in the front. But
yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's there.
That's another exit south of you on 400. That's down south of Northridge is where North Springs High School is. I used to live by there.
Honestly, during the football season, it would be weird if Publix didn't have it, just because that does seem like something you could sell at least a few of on game day, I would think.
A couple hats, a couple T-shirts, you're good to go, right?
It doesn't have to be like an entire wing of the store or something like that, but they should have an end cap that has T-shirts and hats and cups or something like that on there.
I will tell you, it feels big in there. It feels like a really big building.
Nice.
Which I think it is. I think it's just a large building.
Has anything else opened up in that shopping complex, or is it just the Publix?
Are you distraught that there's
everything
parking?
is real close? What Tim? Do you know?
Are you distraught that there's parking?
That there is parking?
Yes.
No.
Okay, good.
A lot of in-towners don't want to have parking lots. They think everybody should just teleport themselves.
Well, it's multi-level though. It's a really tight parking footprint because it's vertical rather than wide like you normally would get in this area, and so that's a little better. What I thought was weird was when I was walking up, I walked into that parking lot right across the street from Hero Donuts, and I went up the stairs there, and you have to go back down another hill. Like, that's not the right way. You cannot get there from that parking lot. Weirdly, I mean, you can, but you got to like off-road, you know. And then you go up, and there's like, you either have to take the long way around, wheelchair access, which is like, back and forth and back and forth. It's like a couple back and forths. Or you can just walk up like the street, and I'm just like, it's like weirdly inaccessible by foot. That's my bigger problem, is that like there's going to be a lot of people walking there because you're right in a residential area, and it's weird to walk in.
Now, that was the same way that's the thing that happened to, the Green Lot getting to Center Park Stadium. They originally didn't have stairs. Like, we were all supposed to park in the Green Lot and then walk down by the apartments and everything. And there was no steps there that very first season that it was built. That there are now. They've got
they like surrounded it with buildings and then made it so you can't like easily get to the stage. It doesn't make sense. It's like, come on, guys. Yeah.
So real simple stuff. You're saying we're going to struggle drunkenly walking to Publix when we need a refill?
Well, I think from that side, because I'm coming in from the other side, but from the stadium side, it might be easier. I'm not sure, but it felt weird to me that like foot access wasn't easier than it is. But that's not to say like, I mean, that's like my biggest complaint, and that's not a lot. I mean,
that is the lack of PBR.
Well, and yeah, I mean, F them for that.
Wait, this is the longest conversation I've ever had about a grocery store.
I did get my pub sub the other day though, and it was good.
Not your legendary wings?
No, I didn't. I got pub sub. I got chicken tendy pub sub.
Nice.
They're so good. I get them tossed in Buffalo, and then at home.
Toasted?
Oh yeah, of course toasted. But I smother it in blue cheese at home. Oh yeah, so good.
No.
So
all
good.
Right.
Nice.
All right, let's talk about a little Georgia State stuff. They came
Can
out.
We talk
I think
about the
like
chicken tendy sandwich a little bit more.
We can talk about that in last call if you want to, if you must. I'll tell you how wrong you are on all accounts.
All right, fair enough.
So I think it was like the day after we recorded. Ryan, you and I recorded last week. They came out and announced the matchups for the Sun Belt MAC basketball challenge.
Who'd we get?
Western Michigan. We're headed to Kalamazoo, Western Michigan.
We talked about that last week.
No, it came out after we recorded.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. You were drunk last week.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So, I mean, we were close to not even being included in this whole little thing because there's
fringe?
There's only 12 teams in the MAC and there's 14 teams in Sun Belt. So two Sun Belt teams. Whoever was last place. I don't know what Texas. No, they're playing. I don't know.
So wait, what you're saying is we didn't get a good draw because we're not very good, but we made the cut barely.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is, so we head up. So all we know is the one half of it. We know the half that the MAC schools are hosting. The other half is going to be we'll find out in like January or something. They're going to base it off of what the RPI or the net rankings are, and we'll find out who's going to come to Georgia State based off of how good we are and how good other teams are in the MAC. So it could be anybody from there. They were really trying to make it where the RPI boost for all the schools.
So wait, you should play the breaking news tune because this could be our first away win.
Oh, away win. We'll save the.
No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna get away wins. Come on,
that's rough.
Yeah, but the date wasn't set though, was it? It's just we just know it's gonna be like in December or something. I think it's just.
Yeah,
I can't remember, but I'm hoping for Buffalo. I want to play Buffalo.
I'm still stuck on that first away game win. That's depressing as shit.
We'll have a chance before then.
We have had a good chance before then.
We had an entire season of chances. Right?
That's rough.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't got much more to talk about that. Yeah.
I don't think I even realized that. Yikes.
We talked about that. Didn't we talk about that?
We talk about lots of stuff, David.
That's true. We do.
Do you expect me to remember every conversation we have?
Episode 182,
live or otherwise.
Oh man, I've remember things we've talked about, and I've gone back to try to find them, and I can't find any of that stuff. It's too hard to do. I need to like
you gotta do some like AI.
Just
search it,
translate it.
Yeah, they have like they transcript tools where you can like push it through there, and it does all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, it's Western Michigan. The only thing I know about Western Michigan is they beat us after we beat Tennessee. Well, we beat Tennessee, and we came back and we beat Kennesaw or something, and then we went off and lost to Western Michigan. As I recall, it was a pretty good beating on us. Or was that the Texas State game the following year?
Also, that year have a number 1 overall NFL draft pick.
I don't think they had that, but didn't they have like that super coach or something?
It was like 1 to 3. It was like an offensive lineman or somebody, like just this ginormous freaking man. No, but like I remember one of the Western Michigan, because we played them multiple times, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then definitely there was like a high first round pick from Western Michigan when we played them. And I'm pretty sure he just like dominated us.
Oh, that was let's see, that's looking up their draft 2023. Zaire Barnes went to the Jets. It wouldn't have been 2023. It would have been like that was 2019 when we played them. They didn't have anybody go in the 2019 draft or 2020 draft. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I'm probably just making shit up, but I thought that was true.
This is great content.
I thought it was Western Michigan. Maybe it was Eastern Michigan.
There's a lot of directional Michigans.
That we played Michigan.
We played Western Michigan.
Central
football.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Central, Eastern, Midwest.
We played
Michigan.
We played them in football week 3 the year we beat Tennessee.
Yeah, they throttled us.
Yeah, they just embarrassed us.
After you go beat Tennessee.
Somebody on our one of our patrons, John Weaver, knows the answer to this.
Off the top of his head.
He'll let us know.
Eastern, Central, Northwestern Michigan. We played them all.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Have we played all the directional Michigans? Have we played all the directional Michigans?
I don't know.
We didn't. I don't think we played Michigan State, but that's fine.
No, I mean I said the directional ones.
I know.
Yeah, they beat us.
Well, we didn't play. I mean, Michigan, we didn't play either.
57-10. They beat us in week 3. Their stadium's called Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo. This sounds like a kid's book.
Can you find where's Waldo? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do still want to go to a Michigan game. I think that would be fun. A Georgia State Michigan game. Of course, you wouldn't be able to tell us too.
Well, they have a different blue.
It's a little bit different. It'd be, Kentucky blue would be a problem,
especially if we wore the stuff from the was it the rec league? Not rec league, but the
club team.
The club team because they actually got
theirs, right?
It was Kentucky stuff. They got the actual Kentucky old uniforms to wear. Yeah, and of course, you take the opportunity to play the schools like Michigan or Ohio State. Of course, coach says nothing but SEC. That's all he wants to play is SEC schools. I mean, as far as like the big money games. But
that's fair. I mean, we talk about regional traveling and all that stuff. I mean, like we talk about it in terms of the conference that we want to be in. And I mean, it makes sense to do your out of conference in the same region as well. I mean, as long as we're not, going all the way out to Oklahoma, I think it makes a lot of sense to be a bus ride away.
Washington, Oregon, all those places.
Yeah, it don't make a lot of sense. I mean, those are fun trips for sure.
Sure.
I mean, Oregon was a blast. I spent a whole week up there hiking and drinking beers and doing drugs and all kinds of stuff. It was great.
I think the West Coast doesn't really make any sense, but yeah, I would have no problem traveling up to Ann Arbor to play Michigan or Ohio State or something like that.
The big traditional ones, like right. You go and just to like have that experience.
Wisconsin was a great time. The early morning tailgate.
I wish I would have made that. God, we almost won.
Insane. That's all I
yeah. Yeah, I wanted to go to that, and the only reason I did not go to that game is because Kim was pregnant with Cooper. That I remember the only friend that I met at Georgia State and have retained a friendship with, like you guys, we all met after football started and everything.
Sure.
But my only single friend that I met while I was at Georgia State that I still am in contact with, and she was in my wedding, everything. I messaged her when that game was coming up, and I was like, as long as Kim's not pregnant, we'll be at that game. And so we were in that period of time where we're not supposed to be talking about it yet, but we knew she was pregnant. And so my friend messaged me and she's like, hey, so looking at this game, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, not going to be able to make it. And she just replied back with a tons of emojis of happy faces and hugs and hearts and crying faces and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I was not at that game. But that would have been, I was listening to that game while mowing the lawn. And it's my fault that we lost. It's my fault that we lost the game. So like it's getting there in that fourth quarter, and we're holding them. And I'm like, all right, I've got to go inside and watch Georgia State win this game. And I went inside, and that's when just the wheels fell off.
It was like 17-13 or something like that. I'm like, man, we have a good shot to beat them.
It was like that last 2 or 3 minutes of game time or something is when I put it on and we lost. I forget how we lost the game, but we lost. And that's the worst thing, being so disappointed and like, oh, I still have the yard to finish mowing, so I go back out there.
I got to do more work.
Like this is miserable.
I kid you not, though. I mean, I wish Summerhill could turn into it, but they turn all their parking lots into tailgate spots because they don't have places to tailgate at all whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just nowhere to go. I mean, they do have fields, but they're further away from the university or from the stadium. Right. So like they literally take retail lots and they make basically beer gardens out of them.
That's fantastic.
Just people tailgating everywhere in those lots. The local restaurants have like crazy specials, shots, everything. It was their fans were so much fun.
Wisconsin is great, and Wisconites, man, they know how to drink and how to party and how to tailgate. I went up there for a Falcons at Green Bay game. And this was in December, so it was cold, but still, those Wisconsin people, they know how to drink and they know how to party and they have a good time. I'd love to play those. Fried cheese curds.
Mm-hmm.
Squeaky cheese. They call them
squeaky cheese. So good.
Yeah, but it's miserable up there. So you got to have all the good stuff to balance that out. Just because the weather and you got to live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's great though. I could not live through those winters consistently. Like I could do it for a year. I could do it for a season. But like as soon as it started getting cold that following year, I'd be like, nope, I'm not doing this again. This is not
moving.
Exactly. It's been. I've not had summer long enough. But yeah, no, my buddies up there, they're the biggest rednecks I've ever met in my life. They out there, they're snowmobiling in the winter, and fishing and hunting in the summer. They do it all up there. I like it. Anyhow, off topic there.
Western Michigan, that's where we're on, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else we can talk about that. I mean, do you care who anybody else is playing?
Not really. I mean, Western Michigan, I don't think was very good last year, so hopefully it's a win, right?
They were 326 in the final rankings. We were 291, so not a far stretch from each other.
Yeah, but we have a whole new team this year.
I do think it's kind of funny, though, that the Trash Down South is getting Eastern Michigan. So, like, both sides of Michigan is getting Georgia traveling up there.
Nice.
Yeah, we do have a whole new team. We were looking at that. We were talking about that in the group chat. Some Old Dominion guy posted about they were, was it 54? Or they lost 54 players or something like that and whatever. And I went and looked at ours and we're making fun of how bad that was. Then we lost 44 players, or there's 44 players not on the roster this year that were on the roster last year.
Just shy of their record.
Yeah. I mean, I said a lot of words that made no sense. There are 44 players not on the 2023 roster that were on the 2022 roster.
But you know what? We got Granger.
Who has
Danger.
Who has a celebrity heartthrob crush on him? So
I think that's made up.
Oh, it's totally made. No,
I'm pretty sure it's on the
internet. It's on the internet, so it's got to be true. Zendaya, But
yeah,
she would never cheat on my Tom Holland like that.
Granger for Heisman, right?
No, you don't have to cheat to be a big fan. I mean, Granger is Granger. I mean,
if it's in your head, it's cheating.
He had like 2 good games. All right.
Well, she watched both of them.
Exactly.
And Tom Holland's had 3 great Spider-Man movies.
That's true, but I mean, you can have like a first and a second place, David.
That's her hall pass. She's dating Tom Holland. Her hall pass is Darren Granger.
That's right.
So
we got to make shirts on that. We got to make Zendaya hearts. Granger Danger.
Hall pass
shirt, and like Tom Holland like in the back crying or something.
After seeing that tweet, I was like, all right. I was all in on Granger last year, taking a huge step forward. Didn't happen. this year he's got to make a huge step forward.
No,
like Ryan's predicting. In order for us to win more games.
Hopefully, it's not like when Jessica Simpson started dating Tony Romo and his game quality went down. So, I mean, this is not dating, but I'm trying to find a connection.
That's what's happening right now.
Now he's dating her already.
Dating Granger.
Exactly.
Can we tweet that? Can we get sued?
What I heard was...
Exactly. What I heard from myself was that this is happening right now.
I mean, Ryan said it.
Can you add? We can just
must be true.
We can just add both of them, right? On Twitter.
That's what you do.
You guys need to get close.
That's what you do. Ryan said it, so it must be true. And that.
There you go. There you go.
Because the first one was the internet said it.
And we're on the internet, so it's like doubly true.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, I got nothing else on Western Michigan.
I mean, I'm impressed with us that we had this much on.
Well, actually, I did have one question. So, like, with the two teams getting left out on the Sun Belt because of being the last place teams, whatever, when they do the reschedule in January, are we guaranteed a game at home? Or, like, let's say, I don't know what the two last place teams were. If they are the two first place teams in the Sun Belt this season, which won't be the case, will they be getting not be getting a game because they were last place? I don't know.
I don't know how they're going to handle that.
I hope we don't care.
Right, exactly. I mean, the chances are very slim, but still.
I hope are they? Because we haven't won an away game.
That's the guarantee away game. We called it on this podcast.
And we still were not the worst teams in the conference.
That's true. I hope we don't care. That's going to be my expert analysis.
I like the thought process there.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see who the last place teams were. Oh, no, we were last place. How did we get a game?
Yeah, yikes. Well,
truth bombs
they think we're better than that.
Yeah. They know we're better than that.
Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Huh.
Yeah, we're last. Yeah.
I was just looking to see how many games there are. But yeah, I don't know how we got included. Oh, JMU's not allowed to because of transitioning or something? No, they're D1 basketball already. I don't know.
It's not that.
All right. We're not going to figure it out now. John Weaver will tell us tomorrow.
Yeah, let's not do math on this podcast.
The Sun Belt office is doing the scheduling. That's how.
That's exactly right. So, all right, Tim, you wanted to talk about baseball transfers.
Yeah. Well, we had, unfortunately, two of our better players transfer across the street or up the street. We had Cam Jones leave and Mason Patel leave, all super quick, almost at the same time.
Well, they followed.
Where's up the street?
Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Well, I think they're
three of them there.
Pitching coach. Their pitching coach is at Georgia State's old pitching coach is at Tech now after a brief stint with the Braves minors. So reunited with him. But the funny thing is Mason Patel was the starting pitcher when we beat Tech this past season. So
and he's going to dish it back to us next year.
Yeah, he can beat them and win with them. So
or not, we'll see.
Oh, not us. We'll beat them. That'll be a revenge game. I get it though. I mean, like they're getting NIL money. They're getting every baseball player gets paid at Tech, so they got money coming to them.
Money talks, right?
And I think was it Mason has already been here for 4 years. This is like a graduate transfer or something.
COVID year too. Does he get an extra one of those?
Maybe that's what it was. I don't. Yeah, everyone got one. How long are we gonna be dealing with that? I guess we're dealing with that for another year, another 2 years. We'll be dealing with COVID years
through 2025, right?
I guess so. That's the way it works.
You could also get a red shirt. You can get a medical. You can get a COVID. How many extra years can you get?
Well, I don't ask. Who is it? The 20.
Oh yeah.
Was it Aubrey Payne, like the 26-year-old player or something like that?
You got every kind of year extra eligibility you could get, right?
An injury, a redshirt year, an injury year, or COVID year. All the fun stuff. No, so you had some comments, you had some thoughts on losing guys to Tech and that kind of stuff.
It's not just losing guys to Tech. It's just, it feels like we are the feeder league to the P5. Period.
Yeah.
Like, just forget it. Like, that's what's happened. That is the new normal. We are the G5 is a feeder league or minor league teams to the P5.
Yeah, we are.
So if that's reality, do you just freaking embrace it? Like, there's got to be a way to capitalize on that and say, look at where we are. Look at how close we are to all these P5 schools, the darling SEC schools. Figure out a way to capitalize on that and advertise to students that probably can't quite make it in a P5 team yet, but could show out here and then get a transfer.
Do you think you have a coach that will be humble enough to say, hey, just come play for us for a year or two to show your shit, and then we'll happily get you into whatever P5 program? It's the same kind of concept that the junior colleges are. If you've ever watched The Last Chance U with the Mississippi school and wherever they went out west later on, whatever, like that's their whole thing. The whole thing is built around getting those guys D1 offers. So it's kind of like the shit rises type thing. So now your G5 programs, at least a G5 program like Georgia State that's not found its way yet, you approach it as, I'm not saying do this, but what you're saying is approach it as, all right, come here and we will get you to, that next level, but what you want.
The quote student athlete has to get themselves there. But I mean, I would say that why not? Why not embrace it? You could get some better talent into your program year in, year out. They might be there 1 year, they might be there 3, they might be there all 4 and never make the cut to move up to the majors. I don't know. It's just a thought. Seeing all these players leave to like Miami, USC, now Tech, pulling baseball players. I mean, that's what it is. That's where we are.
I mean, I hope it's not. I hope we can just end up fundraising to make the NIL worth it for our folks. And I know we're not in a place to do it right now because fundraising at Georgia State is not something that is exciting.
Non-existent.
Well, I wasn't going to say that because, what's his face is fine, I guess.
It's on the idea board.
But we don't really do a lot of fundraising, and this, at least the benefit that we have with the fundraising for the NIL situation is that it's not school run.
Right.
The athletics department.
What are you trying to say, Ryan?
Anything to do with it.
What are you trying to say over there?
That they don't fundraise. I mean, what do you want from me? I've been saying that for years. They're not interested in it. That's not a goal in their brains. Like, it's not. They seem to be very content with a couple of major donors and student fees. Yeah, it just seems like we're cool with that, and that's what we're going to roll with. And I'm a big proponent of fundraising drives everything else. So in order to fundraise, you have to have projects on the horizon. You have to tell people what you're going to fundraise for. And so that drives them to create those projects, the advancement, something to get us excited about.
The new baseball stadium.
It's a whole cyclical thing that's not happening right now because nobody cares about it.
Yeah. I don't have much to add to that. You're absolutely right. Like, it's frustrating from a fan perspective. You want to just throw some crap out at me, like show me like what you want to do, like the baseball renderings. We got all super excited about that kind of stuff, but
awesome.
But then there's just no talk about it.
Ask me for a couple of extra bucks.
Yeah, they used to have like a
10%.
Was it 10%? I thought it was
1%.
I thought it was 1%. Like, it was this campaign just to increase your donation by 1% every year.
Not you got like bonus Panther points or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do they even do the priority points? Do they still do that? Is it still a monitored thing?
Yeah, they still do it.
They claim, but I think when we got our tickets for basketball, we sort of understood that it was like a wink and a nod. The people with the highest number get the first picks, but
they shouldn't need to give us everything first, and then
everybody else.
And then the big donors, and then everybody else.
Well, yeah, and adding to that, just like seeing our budget being 45, or revenue being 45 million, you're like, all right. I mean, I know cost of living's higher in Atlanta, but we're way higher than a lot of the Sun Belt. Like, what are we doing with our money? Schools just like us are operating with much lower budgets. So how are they getting it done?
Don't you dare compare us to ULM.
I don't even know what their budget is. Do they have one?
It's like $10.
But
about $350.
$10 goes a long way in Monroe, Louisiana.
That's 10 scratchers, so they can like double and triple their money.
That's like $20 basically.
Spin the wheel and double your paycheck.
On a good month, it's like $20. On a bad month, it's
right?
like
they play Keno down
2.
There. I don't know. Over there.
I'm trying to look at my Panther account and see they used to have.
Oh, that's gone.
Points, but now it says my Panther Athletic Club priority points are 10. I know.
You must have more than 10. You would roll over. That's like a thing that you have.
I gotta have more than 10 points
because it's based on like season tickets and how long you've held them.
Oh no! So okay, 10 points this year. I have 10 points this year.
Okay,
I have.
Where do you find that?
No way.
My lifetime points are 211.87.
How do you look that up? Is it on Ticketmaster?
Yeah, how do you look it up?
Yeah, you go to I went to like Ticket Central. You sign into your Georgia State account, whatever, and then you go to my profile, and they have it on there.
It's back. It used to be missing.
But it shows you what you've had what you get every year. I don't know. Mine's weird.
Okay, here we go. My profile. Yeah. Where am I looking?
I got 26 points in 2022, but I only got 16 points in 2021.
Ooh, what did I do?
What did I do in 2022 that was all right? This is yeah. You can figure out your points there.
I'm missing some points. Uh-oh.
I don't. Oh, did you see the Saturday game day people listed the top 50 home uniforms in all of college football, and Georgia State right in there.
It must be all blue.
Some other team is not on there.
All blue from top to bottom.
What is our? I mean, like I feel like we don't really have a traditional home uniform. What is our home uniform? Like Georgia has like the red helmet, red jersey, gray pants, right? That's their home. Or is that their away?
I only have 5 points this year and 160 lifetime.
You're nothing compared to me. I'm such a better fan than you are.
Last year I had a lot of points compared to other years.
What are you at, Ryan?
160.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Where are you at? Where were you?
151.
All right, I win. I mean, I'm second place.
Good job.
I win after David.
Let me know when you guys cross the 200 mark,
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack us again, but it took me a while to get there.
It happens. No, I mean it's a BS poll on some Twitter account, but it was cool to see us listed as a top 50 out of 130 something teams out there.
But it is like which uniform, right? I mean, I think it's blue. It's got to be.
Yeah,
that is the best.
It is the best. The only and second best is white helmet, blue.
I think second best is white.
Yeah. Oh, that's well, yeah. Yeah. They're good looking uniforms though, so they were correct. But it's cool being set up here with like a good company with you got Georgia and Alabama in there, several
Not
SEC
TDS.
schools. No trash down south, no tech. It's only two schools from. Yeah, so they have Tulane in there though, but that's pretty ugly. And no coastal.
They've just got Bama jerseys, don't they? Like green Bama jerseys.
No coastal because that teal color is absolutely god awful.
Yeah,
JMU was included with their ugly purple, but
purple's a good color.
There's like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 purple teams on this thing.
It's very regal. What is it? ECU? Is ECU on there?
ECU, and they just have I say purple. Clemson's on there, but they have a purple background with the orange paw print on it.
Purple is a secondary color for them.
Yeah. What a weird color combination.
Orange purple. Yeah.
Oh well. I think that's all I got. Oh, there's a huge thread. I should say huge. There was a couple page thread on Panther Talk about there's a lot of rumors about SMU leaving the American to go to Pac-12, which just brings up there's an opening in the American now. So
what do you do?
Should Georgia State go?
I stare at it.
Oh yeah. What does Georgia State do? Georgia State just stares at it, goes, huh, look at that.
That's interesting. We're not. We'll just keep watching.
I think you go, but you don't need to be very excited about it.
It's more like a fitting type thing. It's like when my first kid was born. Like, you know, a lot of people get like super excited and emotional and tears, whatever. And my wife and I were in the room afterwards, and both of us were kind of like, it was almost anticlimactic. It was just kind of like, yeah, this fits, this belongs. We were expecting to have, like, this kid was always expected to be in our lives, so now, like, we felt like we were a whole family finally. So it felt like right.
I think this is the most wholesome thing you've ever said out loud in my experience with you.
But so the same thing with American. It feels like, even with the teams that have departed, it still feels like just where you're supposed to be. You're with like a company. Glove. Yeah, exactly. Not an O.J. Simpson isotoner though.
No, not an isotoner. Definitely not black leather either. No.
Yeah. So, all right. Unless you guys have anything else about that, I got nothing else.
What did Panther Talk think? Yes, no, maybe. Mostly positive.
Well, we were supposed to go to the ACC and just avoid American altogether. So that was a big tone in there by at least, and by at least I mean only one person. Actually, I think Ben made a solid point in there. He says Georgia State's more likely to cease playing football than it is to get into the ACC, and I'm like,
that's strong. Damn.
Yo. In the foreseeable future, absolutely. But I think who was the comedian that made a comment about, I don't want to be in a club that would have me. It's kind of the same thing. By the time the ACC is willing to have us, I'm not sure if we want to be in the ACC.
So, I mean, that's sort of the thing, is I think we're like 55-45. Like, it's probably a better shot at doing better in the future if we move right now. But that's not to say that there's no shot where we're at, or that things won't flip-flop in the amount of time that it takes to figure that out. I mean, the ACC or the AAC might get like destroyed like CUSA did. You know, I mean, that it could happen. And it's not unlikely. I feel like they're the ones that have gotten rated the hardest, and it was all their top programs. So with all your bottom programs, what are you selling? Like, is your TV contract going to be what it was? Probably not. And that's the only reason I'm on board with going there. So I don't know. I'm not sad. I don't know. I'd be happy if we moved. I'm not sad we're not.
I mean, we were talking about this, I think, a couple weeks ago. I'm like, just kind of getting more content and just being in the Sun Belt. Not that I like the conference, but I just, all right, I guess this is where we are.
We've got positive momentum within the Sun Belt. Like, the Sun Belt has positive momentum,
whether we like it or not.
It's on the up and up, where other G5 conferences seem to be on their way down.
Whether we like it or not, or specifically you, David, the Sun Belt could become the premier G5 conference, and we're in it already.
Would you rather be in the premier G5 conference, or be the top dog in your conference that's beating all of those teams?
Premier G5 conference.
Oh, that hurts to hear.
Sorry.
I mean, it makes sense to hear, but it hurts to hear.
I'd rather be in the premier G5 conference.
If we're beating everyone in a conference that are like pure like institutions, that's a tough draw. I don't know.
Nobody gives a shit about pure institutions. I know we talk about that a lot, but like, your average fan does not care, doesn't understand what that means. Like, I barely understand what that means.
Sure.
I don't know what a Lafayette or a Monroe is. I don't like that. I just don't like being associated with schools.
I don't know what a Bearcat is.
It's
a bear mixed with a cat.
But I mean, that would be our peer, right? That'd be like our upper echelon peer.
Yeah, well, mascots I don't care about. I'm talking about like a school that's named after a town. Like, I mean, like a school they sound like rinky-dink schools. Do they even have academic programs there, or is it just
where?
Like the Lafayettes and the Monroes? You know, like, is that even like who wakes up in their life and says, you know what? I want to go to Mobile, Alabama, to go to school at University of South Alabama. Like, that's that no one wants to be there, wants to do that. Like, what's gone so wrong in your life that's you aspire to go to college in Mobile, Alabama? What, you were born in a Mobile? That's why you want to go there?
I mean, all honesty, Georgia State was gonna be my safety school, and then I only applied to there. So it was really my safety school just based on my own lack of drive.
I don't. It was under my safety school. I transferred in. I went to Southern Tech first, but I never even applied to Tech. I never applied to Georgia Tech. I don't know if I could or could not have gotten in. I didn't even apply.
I had a big plan where I was going to transfer in. I didn't have a trig credit. They required a trig credit. And I was like, oh, I won't even apply. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll transfer in after 2 years. And then I got a few years into Georgia State. Didn't know what the hell I wanted. And then, 7 years later, I graduated. So
just like everybody does at Georgia State. I want to meet the guy that graduates in like exactly 4 years at Georgia State.
4-year Georgia State graduate.
Exactly. Like what was going so right? What was going so right in your life that you finished on time? My life was not going that well. Still isn't going that well. So
Denver loved Mobile, is what she says. She said,
"Oh yeah, she loves Mobile."
Is she enrolling at South Alabama now?
Maybe.
I'm not saying that Mobile is a bad place to go vacation or visit or whatever. I'm just saying, who wakes up and
there are better places though. Like, let's be real here. If you're like listing places like of where we want to go, Mobile's not gonna be in my top 10, top 20.
If we're listing places that I want to go, the state of Alabama does not crack the top 10.
Doesn't make it. Yeah, that's right. Don't make it. Yeah, but the Talladega Forest, I actually would like to maybe go out and see some of that stuff, because driving through it on the highway even, I think is really pretty.
Okay. I mean, there's trees all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a pretty forest. It's a forest. I'd said that already.
Yeah, I'm saying, but there's trees. I'm saying, like, there's just trees everywhere.
There's trees, David.
I can go out. I got like 4 trees in my yard if you want to come look at trees.
But they're not trees from the Talladega Forest looking pretty.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of cool. I don't know.
I don't get nature.
I've been into it. I was like, man, this is cool. And there's like some mountains. When we were on our way to Jacksonville State, there were some like weird mountains in the middle of Alabama, which I'm like, what is this? Who knew?
Those are just landfills that they've grown grass over. I'm not kidding.
That's where all our trash goes. Entire
Exactly.
United States, Alabama.
Actually, I am kidding. I have no idea. I drive to Alabama all the time. I don't know what hills you're talking about.
When we were so like you go through Talladega and then you got off the highway to get to Jacksonville State.
Yep.
There were like these, I mean, maybe not mountains. They were like large hills, maybe. I mean, they were somewhere between hill and mountain, I think.
You get the foothills.
It was just nice out there. Yeah. I thought it was like neat. I would have expected just like flat plains.
Jacksonville State had, and that's the first time you and I really hung out at a tailgate. Was Jacksonville State. That was a fine little tiny campus. It's now an FBS program. That's now a Conference USA member.
Yeah. They're in the CUSA land, right?
Yeah. Which,
what a garbage conference.
What are they, like, the Blackhawks or the Crows or something?
The Crows. Yeah, the Black Crows.
The Black Crows.
I don't know. They're Gamecocks, aren't they? Aren't they the Gamecocks?
It might be true. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. The Conference USA is garbage now, and they get garbager next year when Kennesaw State joins.
Garbage.
They got it's Jacksonville State and Sam Houston that are joining this year, along with New Mexico and New Mexico State. And
I forgot about Kennesaw joining. Jeez,
I forgot about it too. Like something came up a couple of months ago, really, about Kennesaw State joining, and I'm like, I know this is something that we would have talked about on the podcast. I must have been really drunk for that episode, because I was like, I forgot all about that.
Don't they have to expand their stadium? Can't they not leave it where it's at?
They were
15K, right?
They're getting that new sports complex, the whole like new Gabang thing on the other side of 75.
The Bang.
Is it official? Like it's done?
I don't know. They're talking about it. It was on the internet, so it must be true.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone said some stuff, I guess.
I mean, is there an actual minimum? Is it 15 or is it lower?
15,000 rolling over a 2-year period. So yeah, you have to maintain 15,000 in attendance. attendance, quote unquote attendance.
So can they just like annex a parking lot and tell people pay $1 to get in here and watch the game?
I don't know. Have you been to Kennesaw State? You've
I
been there. You saw a soccer game, right?
Yeah, Lane and I had matched there. It's a nice little complex. It's a Rector set, but
it's a soccer stadium. It's a soccer stadium. It was built to be soccer. It's a soccer field. That's all it is. Yeah, I'm surprised they got in there with what they are. But that's how desperate Conference USA was. I'm surprised the NCAA even allowed the call up.
I'm surprised they didn't take us.
I just Googled it. I wanted to know. It has 8,300 physical seats, capacity for 10,000. You figure that out. Then they said they're going to add 1,500 seats in the north end zone this upcoming season. They're going to add field level club seats. And then as attendance improves, more seats will be added to existing areas of the stadium. To reach the 15,000 seat threshold, they must meet by 2024.
That's their season. That's the season they start.
Plan for a season.
Good for them. That's a lot of effing work.
Right. At least they're trying to do something, I guess, right? I guess when the Braves move out of Truist Park, that Kennesaw can just take over that stadium.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, whatever county decides to bribe them next.
This is a zinger. I don't like it. Sales department has increased its staff by 2, and the marketing department is putting an increased focus on making the stadium experience more fan friendly.
What are you talking about?
That's what they're doing. Why can't I read that about us?
That's nonsense. I wouldn't believe that from any program.
We don't hire anybody. We just move people around into that one role. So
who's next?
Yeah, who drew the short stick this week's?
Chris will actually just come back.
Yeah, we could hope.
Maybe give him a director title.
Indeed.
Yeah. Toss those around. All right. I think we can kill this one.
We tried to make this a short episode, and I'm sorry, guys. I
got a buddy of mine that
forever instead.
I got a buddy that flew in here, and he's like, I'm like, all right, he got here. I'm like, I got to go downstairs and do the podcast. That's why I was late getting on here. And he's like, how long is it gonna be? I was like, man, we got nothing to talk about, so it should be really quick. But whenever I say that, we go for an hour. So here we go. So
all right, let's wrap.
We're gonna wrap up.
It won't be last long. Call.
Will not be long. Find it on our Patreon page, patreon.com/State of Atlanta. Join for as little as $3 a month. You get early access to Last Call. You get live stream of the weekly episode and Last Call, as well as discounts on our merchandise and access to the group chat, which is the most fun part of the whole thing. And we got a lot of stuff that we're working on. Ryan, Tim, and I finally started actually talking about what we could do to expand the State of Atlanta into more than just a podcast. So come find out the deets through our Patreon group. So talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.